It's a rare occurrence that 39 different fire departments from 2 states would ever come together to put out a blaze. But this wasn't just any structure fire. This was a fire the community will remember for a lifetime. October 21st, 2017, a day when the Mid-Ohio Valley woke up under a black cloud of smoke coming from Camden Avenue.
When we turned the corner down here on the Route 95, I mean, it was 12:30 in the morning, but you could see black smoke from there.
We were standing right here, and that smoke went straight up 6,000 feet.
A plume of smoke seen for dozens of miles.
A bunch of them said, "Why are we being called to Parkersburg? You know, what's going on there?" And I remember a couple of them saying we were taking our time, but as we got closer, we could just see the cloud and knew something serious was going on.
By the time the sun came up that morning, more than 400,000 square feet were fully engulfed. Law enforcement, county officials, emergency management crews, the Red Cross, and many other resources arrived to join the hundreds of firefighters that would come to the scene by the end of the day.
They had fire trucks lined down that way.
I was the guy who grabbed the nozzle on the hand line and kind of took off towards the fire.
Devastating at first. I mean, in essence, there was about 3 city blocks totally engulfed in flames.
As soon as the fire got to the point to where it was, we had to worry about a water supply.
As the sun set on Saturday, many realized the fight was far from over.
Even after 7 days, we weren't out of the mess.
It was 8 days of active firefighting, another 2 dealing with hot spots and flare-ups.
So I was there every day. In the 8 to 10 days that we were on scene, I racked up about 100 hours.
It's been called the biggest fire in the state of West Virginia.
It's a fire the Mid-Ohio Valley will never forget. Yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of the Intercontinental Export Import warehouse fire. We hear from officials and first responders to remember the historic blaze. The IEI fire wasn't fought single-handedly. As President John F. Kennedy once said, "The sun doesn't always shine in West Virginia, but the people always do."
We had calls coming in the command post from, way out in Ohio, West Virginia, hey, if you need something, just call us, we'll be there, we'll send a crew. Firefighters are all family, so whether you wear a Waverly shirt or a Mineral Wells shirt, we're all firefighters, do the same job.
The community was scared. Officials tried to find out what was burning inside the building.
We had businesses close. We closed the courthouse. Bureau of Fiscal Service followed suit. Banks closed. We don't know what to say is in this.
Anything that we found out, we immediately posted because we knew the concerns of the public would be great. On the best advice of those that's well-versed in chemical fires and plant fires and things, we went a lot with what they advised on how to handle the situation and what advisories to put out.
But at the end of the 10 days, when officials left the scene, Stewart says it was a success for 2 reasons. The fire was out, and no one was hurt.
To have that amount of people operating in that area with that amount of fire and nobody get injured is amazing.
We didn't even have as much as one stub toe over there with 240 plus firefighters.
Young firefighters say it brought their training to life.
A lot better firefighters, and all the departments are a lot better now because of this event. Even though it was a tragic and we never wanted it to happen, it did make us better.
They say October 21st will always be circled on their calendar.
It's a good memory. It's a memory of when a community came together, resources from our state, from our county, from the city, from surrounding counties. I think that's the spirit of West Virginia, first and foremost. It was a fire that brought the community together.
It was a monster.
The educational fire.
But Mark Stewart says it was the fire
we beat.
The IEI fire took 10 total days to fight. Hundreds of firefighters, contractors, and environmental experts came to the Mid-Ohio Valley to assist. But it didn't come cheap. Wood County Commission was quickly called to the scene when checks needed to be signed.
The overwhelming support we had from the commission, because they're actually the signatures to the checks, to the money, that allowed us to get the foam and get the gasoline and get the diesel fuels.
I would have bankrupted the county to put that thing out. I seriously would have done it.
Absolute total cooperation through the county commission. They never blinked once about anything we needed. They just wanted to fire out safely.
The financial burden didn't end with the fire either. Fire departments suffered major losses.
I think we had a little over $10,000 worth of equipment that was lost or destroyed and had to be replaced.
Months later, Governor Jim Justice followed through on his promise to reimburse Wood County officials for the costs, giving a check for over $1.4 million.
We are blessed and lucky the governor stepped forward when he did.
And the county reimbursed everybody for their losses.
The money came from the governor's contingency fund, though the state is still pursuing reimbursement from the NIACs.
Property owner has not paid, and they have done some things to rehabilitate their image, but there's still a bill for $1.4 million for fighting their fire.
Most recently, Justice returned to the site in August to present Wood County emergency agencies with a $1 million response vehicle.
We were given a hazmat response vehicle, and Parkersburg Fire Department and all the volunteer firemen are kicking in to get spooled up on training to be able to respond to incidents. So we're hoping to get that team spooled up and ready to roll local or statewide or wherever that unit's needed.
Woodyard received honors from Governor Justice for his leadership efforts during the fire, as did Stewart. He was also awarded by the Department of Environmental Protection and named West Virginia State Fire Marshal of the Year.
It's hard to believe you get an award for burning down a whole entire city block. But
a lot has happened since the fire started a year ago, as was discussed at the Wood County Commission meeting this Monday, a year later. The different agencies involved gained knowledge, resources, and funding to better Wood County and all of the Mid-Ohio Valley.